August 31st, 1939. A small radio station in Gleiwitz, Germany, is suddenly stormed by what appear to be Polish soldiers. They broadcast a message of war and leave behind a body. But the soldiers weren't Polish. They were SS agents in disguise. And the body? A concentration camp prisoner, murdered to provide proof. Hitler had his excuse. Just 4 hours later, the world changed forever. 1.5 million German troops surged across the Polish border from 3 directions. This was no ordinary invasion. It was something new. Fast, coordinated, devastating. Blitzkrieg, a lightning war designed to overwhelm and destroy before the enemy could react. Within days, Polish defenses began to collapse under the sheer speed and force of the assault. But as Poland fought a desperate and isolated battle, they didn't yet know the full truth. Their fate had already been decided. Just weeks earlier, in secret, Hitler and Stalin had signed a pact, an agreement to divide Poland between them. What followed were 35 days that would reshape the world. The invasion of Poland was not just the fall of a nation, it was the beginning of a global war. Chapter 1. The Blitzkrieg Myth. Now, if you open almost any history textbook, you'll see the word Blitzkrieg plastered everywhere. We're told Hitler unleashed a brand new, perfectly engineered war machine that wiped out the Polish army in days. But here's the truth. The Germans didn't even use the word Blitzkrieg in their official manuals at the time. To them, this wasn't futuristic warfare. It was a high-speed evolution of an old Prussian concept, Bewegungskrieg, or War of Movement. The goal wasn't just to take land. It was to find the Schwerpunkt, the point of main effort. Imagine a massive sledgehammer striking a single tiny nail. Instead of spreading their tanks evenly across the front, the Germans concentrated them into narrow, devastating spearheads. They weren't looking for a fair fight. They were looking for a weak point, and once they broke through, they didn't stop. They pushed deep into the enemy's rear, leaving the cleanup to the infantry behind them. Chapter 2. The Kesselschlacht. This leads us to the most terrifying part of the German playbook, the Kesselschlacht, or cauldron battle. Think of it like a massive tactical encirclement, only with tanks and machine guns. By driving rapidly into the rear, German panzer units would link up behind Polish lines, completely surrounding entire armies. Polish troops would wake up to find their supply lines cut, their communications disrupted, and their escape routes gone. They were trapped. This wasn't just a tactical defeat, it was psychological warfare. You weren't just being outgunned, you were being outpaced. By the time Polish command understood what was happening, German forces were already miles ahead. That speed, that relentless tempo, was the real weapon. Chapter 3. The Flying Artillery. While the panzers were the hammer on the ground, the Luftwaffe was the hammer from the sky. On day 1, the German Air Force didn't just bomb cities. They struck at the core of Poland's defenses. Airfields were targeted, grounding the Polish Air Force before it could effectively respond. But the real game-changer was the Ju-87 Stuka. If German troops encountered a fortified position, they didn't wait for heavy artillery to arrive. That could take days. Instead, they called in the Stukas. These dive bombers acted as flying artillery, delivering precise, devastating strikes. And with the infamous Jericho trumpet sirens screaming as they dived, they did more than destroy targets. They shattered morale. This wasn't just firepower. It was psychological warfare. Chapter 4. Fall Weiss. The triple threat to execute this strategy. Germany launched Fall Weiss, or Case White. Strategically, Poland was in a dangerous position. Its borders left it exposed to attack from multiple directions. From the north, Army Group North advanced out of East Prussia and Pomerania. From the west, the main German force drove straight across the border. And from the south, Army Group South pushed in through Silesia and Slovakia. It was a massive pincer movement designed to close in on Warsaw. Poland was forced to defend a long, stretched front, exactly what the German strategy depended on. Weak points appeared, and the Germans exploited them. Chapter 5. The Secret Ingredients. Finally, we need to look at what kept this entire system moving. Despite its modern image, much of the German army still relied on horses for logistics. The speed came from the independent panzer divisions operating ahead of the main force. And there was another factor, one often overlooked. German troops were frequently issued pervitin, a powerful stimulant that allowed them to stay awake and alert for extended periods. This helped sustain the relentless pace of the advance, a pace that exhausted Polish defenders simply couldn't match. It was a fast, coordinated, and unforgiving invasion that reshaped modern warfare.